and welcome to another episode of Your Manchester. I'm Michelle Eagleton, and unfortunately I'm going solo today because our Belinda is off skiing. She'll be back next week, hopefully not with a broken leg. But what have we got on today's show? We have got the wonderful Gary Manners, who's our travel counsellor, talking about Easter breaks, and we've also got a Tudor theatre group, so we'll tell you more about that later. Don't forget to press the subscribe button, and it's all here, only on Your Manchester. Now we're going to give you a little slice of history. I did promise you we had a fantastic theatre group in with us, and we have got Twits, Wits and Bawdy Baskets.
Hey, she remembered it.
I did. We've got Steve Cooper and Suzanne Kinghorn joining us from the show.
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
You wrote it. It's brand new, this. It sounds a bundle of fun. Tell us a bit about it.
It's going to be a lot of laughs. It's a brand new spanking Tudor comedy that takes gender and rich and poor divide and a woman's place and the homeless back then and puts it through a lewd and witty meat grinder. So there's cross-dressing, riotous changes, nobody's who they seem to be. The women are dressed as men, the men are dressed as women. The women don't know that the woman is dressed as a man and falls in love with her, and things ensue. We have the gentry at one side, who just wants a male heir to move things on.
Oh, yeah.
That's the part that Suzanne plays.
Yeah.
She plays the mother. Elizabeth Shuttleworth.
You're the posh one, aren't you, Suzanne?
I am the posh one, yeah. A bit of a typecasting there, isn't it? I don't think.
Well, this Twits, Wits and Bawdy Baskets, I mean, how did you come up with that name?
Yeah.
It doesn't roll off the tongue,
No,
Steve.
tongue twister,
No,
isn't
the
it?
whole thing, I must say, came about because I've reading loads of Tudor things, like you do. I just had a general interest in it at bedtime. And I found out that if people were acting and they didn't have a licence to act from the Lord Chamberlain or whoever in London, you know, and they didn't have a patron, a sponsor, then they were treated as rogues and vagabonds. And they could be whipped and stripped and have an ear cut off, be burnt through the gristle of an ear and all this, just for performing a play, just for getting up and performing without a licence. So I thought, well, that's an interesting, what if these bunch of people, I like them, because they're kind of homeless, they do some plays on the side, but mostly what they do is they rob people, go around, you know, one of them's an ex-soldier or pretends to be, that's been wounded in the Low Countries, and he goes around saying, give us some money. Another one is the Bawdy Basket, which is, she sells lace, pins, ribbons and her flour.
Sloppy Jenny.
No, Sloppy Jenny, that is. It's a good part.
Sloppy Jenny.
She plays it very well, does Sophie, actually.
I'm loving it. You actually have said it's a cross between something like The Taming of the Shrew and Some Like It Hot, which is great because it just have echoes of Shakespearean times, I suppose.
It's very clever. You would think really that it was actually written in the times, in the Tudor times, but obviously it's brand spanking new, all based around Ordsall Hall in Padiham, which again brings it that kind of local feel as well. And we're actually doing an open air performance at Ordsall Hall.
Oh, fingers crossed that it doesn't rain.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in June, so we're in with the shout.
Well, you never know. I hate to dampen your spirits,
but it'll still be going ahead anyway, won't it?
We'll have our hats on.
Yeah. We'll have our hats.
But we're more concerned about you coming to Salford, and that's not long, is it? You know, so
the King's Arms.
Yes,
that
the
sounds
King's
right,
Arms.
doesn't it? So this is the jester. This is Mary John. He's the jester. He's a sporting fool.
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
This is Sloppy Jenny's hats.
Sloppy Jenny's. I hope she's washed that.
I'm not sure if she has. It's a little bit lousy, I think. You look fetching.
Who's wearing that hat?
This is actually Mary John when he's not being the jester, when he's just being the general. He's the leader of the troop, he's the leader of the vagabonds.
Oh, lovely.
And there's a couple of characters in it who are based on characters who really existed in Elizabethan times. One girl, we call her Harry Tupper, she dresses as a bloke, but based on Mary Frith, or Moll Frith. And in Shakespeare's day, she actually performed on stage, which, you know, women weren't allowed to perform. I did a bit of research about her and thought, oh, we have an actress here. But it turns out, because she was a bit rough and rum, you know, she only performed like rude songs and rude jokes, stuff like that.
Do you know what? It sounds like you've got some great characters. What is it like doing the rehearsals at the moment? Is it as good fun?
It is.
It's hard getting them all in the same room.
Yeah.
7 actors when you're not paying them a decent wage.
Now, do I look fetching? Who
You
am
do
I?
look wonderful.
Yeah, you're poor Tom.
Oh.
Yeah. No, you have a look of him. You do have a look of him.
Do I?
Yeah, he's a bit mad. He spent
Rude.
time in Bedlam.
All right. Sounds about right.
He was kidnapped as a child and forced to become a boy player and chorister, and also abused by the gentry, which often happened to the little kids in them days. So we look a little bit at that as well. And these rogues are all stuck together, and they can't get away from each other. But they love each other. It's like a sitcom.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
there's a bit of Dad's Army kind of thing in it as well.
Now, if you've got so many
You tell you
characters in
I am.
here, oh, I don't know. Have we moved eras? So are you kind of like, I don't know.
No. Oh, I've made this hat myself. Oh, Robin. Oh, Robin.
You made Marion.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey.
Get
Soon to
in.
be unmade by the stiff whisking of Robin Hood. Why, here comes he now, champing his bit like a ginger spike nag, gagging to woo the virtuous maid with only a quince pudding. But
It's
where's
like
Robin?
having Belinda.
I've got Robin here somewhere.
I didn't think Robin was in Tudor times.
Oh, Marion. We should, yeah, he's been going on for ages as Robin. He's like, the story started in the 14th century and they still carried on. But as part of the May Day games, it was always Robin Hood that they put on. But a really dirty carry-on version of Robin Hood.
Right.
Do you want to do it?
No, do you know what? Robin Hood, I'm going to send you packing because our time is over.
I've just put the Reverend's hat.
One more character.
This is the Reverend. You're unclean. You shouldn't be here. This is just Satan's schoolhouse. Plays should be banned.
It all happens on your Manchester, what can I say? Now, tell us again where we can get tickets for your show, because it's on the 25th and the 26th of April at the King's Arms in Salford. It's made me laugh. I'm sure it's made you guys laugh at home, so go and see it.
It is ticketweb.co.uk. You can get your tickets from there for Salford's King Arms on the 25th and the 26th of April.
We got a Facebook page as well, Doodlebugs Productions, and we got some other performances there around Lancashire and all the rest. Yeah, thank you so
Now
much for
get
having us
me
there.
gone. Get me gone.
Hey, bloody hell. Right, move, come on. Yes.
All right, well, now we have got Hayley in her corner with a very special guest. Should we go and take a look?
Hi, I'm Hayley and welcome to my little gossip corner. Now, with me today, I have Manchester actor and teacher Peter Carroll. Welcome, Peter. How are you?
Great, not too bad. Yeah, very busy.
You were telling me about a fantastic BBC project that is being converted from a play to television.
Yeah, BBC wanted to bring what was an award-winning piece of theatre from the Edinburgh Fringe over to television, and so I've been very much part of the team that's helped to do that, because technically it's a really big job, you know, to take what is a big show. It's called The Believers Are But Brothers by Javid Alipour, and it's bringing that to the smallness of the screen and really scaling down the production as well. It's airing sometime later this spring as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Do we know roughly when at the
I
moment?
think it could be the end of this month. I'm hearing March the 24th.
Right.
I think, yeah.
Oh, right.
BBC 4.
So not long off then.
No, not long.
And you trained as a professional actor as well, didn't you, before you moved on?
Yeah,
to
I
doing sort
did.
of
I
work?
trained in the 80s. I got a break doing warm-up on Saturday morning kids TV.
Brilliant.
And I've always worked in and out the industry. And at the moment, I'm predominantly working as an acting coach. I also facilitate casting, so I do a lot of casting tapes for Netflix, Amazon. Don't know who I'm going to work with from week to week.
Which is exciting.
Oh, it is. It's
really.
brilliant, you know. And it's a great opportunity for me as an actor, because I end up reading in all sorts of parts of. I've been a journalist for Channel 4, been an animatronic. The other week I was working with Sanaya Mizuno from Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, yeah. So you're keeping your skills in check,
I
even though
am,
you're
yeah.
not always working as an actor these
Yeah.
days, but you're keeping your skills there,
very
aren't
much
you?
so, yeah.
So tell me about the company, the Manchester company, Thinking Actors that you
Right,
run.
yeah.
Because that's been going for about 3
2.5 years, yeah. It's phenomenal. I love it. I love going to work. And I can really say that I actually really love going to work. I love working with actors.
So come on, let's name drop. Who have you been working with?
Okay, well, you know, I've been working with some amazing talent and some new and upcoming talent. Rose Williams, who was in Curfew for Sky Atlantic.
Right.
So I worked with her last year, and she's just been cast in a new film called The Power, horror film coming up in the UK, and going to be a major star. She's also got the lead role in Sanditon for ITV and PBS. And I've been working with a few people over years and years, but it's just a joy, you know. And Thinking Actors at its core, it's about training and support services, so support for casting, and we do all sorts of workshops, particularly for camera. If you're an actor in this city, you do need to train for camera, because you can't just be put in front of a camera.
Skill,
completely and utterly different. And then this year we've also launched. I've been living in New York for a while as well, so I've been at the acting studio. And so we've also launched something called Theatre Works, which is a programme of more theatre focus, so away from screen acting. So we've got something. We've got a scene study on Antigone and Greek. I love Greek theatre.
Oh, is this where you're doing the Meisner classes as well?
It is, yeah. I've got one on Meisner, one on Stanislavski.
Which, just to explain, they are different acting techniques, basically.
Yeah, different approaches to acting. And, you know, it's like most things with acting, you put together a toolkit and dip in and out of it, you know, what you want and what works for you.
So where can viewers, if they want to find out more, where can they find out more about this? Do you have a website?
I do, yeah, thinkingactors.co.uk.
Peter, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, and thanks for asking me.
No, you're
Loved
welcome.
it. It's been great fun.
That's all from me. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Well, that was lovely to hear from Peter Carroll there, and he was talking about New York. Now, we are staying a little bit closer to home with our next guest. We've got the lovely Gary Manners from Travel Counsellors. Hello, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back again.
Peter over there was discussing, you know, the Big Apple, but it's all about the word staycation at the moment. Now, what is that, Gary?
Well, the staycation term that we're talking about there is staying in the UK. And the weather's hopefully getting a little bit warmer. It was a few weeks ago, so hopefully it'll carry on. So why not try some holidays in the UK, support the local economy?
This is good, isn't it, really, in terms of, one, I suppose, Brexit, if that happens or not, we will wait and see. Yes. And also, I suppose, if you're wanting to get away for Mother's Day or the Easter holidays and not go far. So what ideas have you got for us?
Right, Michelle, there's lots of ideas I've got this week.
Amazing.
So why not try a London theatre break, see one of the top shows? I mean, obviously we've got the Manchester theatres as well, but why not tie it in with a trip to London, see the sights of London, pull in a theatre show in the West End, have a meal afterwards and have a great weekend. Ideal for Mother's Day, ideal for the families and the kids as well.
I like that tip. I knew you could deliver. You always do.
The London theatres as well as the Manchester ones. We've got all the theme park breaks as well. We've got Alton Towers, Blackpool of course.
Yeah. And you can stay over at Alton Towers now, can't you?
Yes, you've got the Alton Towers Hotel. We've got Legoland Windsor, Harry Potter at Warner Brothers.
I've still not been there.
That's a fantastic day out.
Yeah.
So, and again, we can do a rail from your local station. If you want to upgrade to first class, we can do that as well. So
sounds my kind of thing. I'm a mum, you know, hint, hint, wink, wink. Now, you talked about you can book these, and we know that you are this amazing travel counsellor. Are we going to miss the boat, though, if we haven't booked them in advance? Are these things that we can book just on spec?
The things that you can book kind of short notice, as long as we've got the rooms and the availability, there's some fantastic bargains to be had. And I think people have been holding back, but it's time to get moving, and why not start in the UK? We've got cottages, we've got hot tub breaks, the Lake District's only just up the road, we've got Yorkshire, Derbyshire, so much to see and do in the UK.
Is there anything, if you've got like a cat or a dog or you know, somebody you want to take away with you?
Yeah, we've got pet-friendly breaks, because I book all the log cabins, the hot tub breaks as well, and a lot of them now are actually pet-friendly, where you can actually take your little dog or cat, or even a couple of dogs with you if you've got more than one dog, which a lot of people have these days.
And then you can go walking as well.
They're all countryside locations, lots of outside areas, so plenty of scope on that for taking your pets with you as well.
It is on our doorstep, and we do forget we've got all these amazing things. If you could leave us then with one top tip then, Gary, what would it be? Or one, you know, destination that we should be going to?
Definitely try London.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite. Why not? While you're in London, take a trip down to Brighton as well. It's so cool, so funky. You're right on the sea coast as well. I've done it many times. Absolutely brilliant
A little
place.
bit of Brighton Rock.
Give it a go.
Oh, fantastic. Do you know, I think I might do that because I lived in London for a year, never got myself to Brighton,
Oh,
and it's
you're
only a
missing
short
out.
train ride, isn't
It
it?
is. It is. Get down the pier and everything. It's a great day out.
Candy floss and a bag of chips and
Yeah.
a many ones.
Any inquiries, any questions you've got, just generally about, you know, your travel experiences, or if you've got any questions at all, please get in touch.
Gary's the man who can. I know this.
Thank you.
Well, talking about travel, where's our Titters gone this week? Tell you what, bring on that VT.
This week I've come along to Ordsall Hall, a few minutes walk from Exchange Quay tram stop, to find out why it was built so close to Salford Docks. Back in the days of the Norman conquest, 1066, when King Carroll got an arrow in his eye, it said Ordsall, or Ordsall Hall, was part of the manor of Salford. It appears in tax records in 1177. Now, there was probably a house on the site in Ordsall by 1251, when William de Ferrers, Earl of Derby, exchanged the manor for land in Pendleton which belonged to David de Hulton. And in 1331, the childless Richard de Hulton bequeathed the dwelling house to Sir John Radcliffe. The Radcliffes were in a strange position of being a Catholic family who supported the monarch and were viewed favourably by the crown. In 1841, novelist William Ainsworth created a novel called Guy Fawkes. It was set in 1605, and it tells a fictional story of Guy Fawkes and Robert Catesby devising the gunpowder plot at Ordsall Hall. One of the characters in the novel is the 18-year-old Viviana Radcliffe, who is secretly being wooed by Robert Catesby. He meets Guy Fawkes, who has come to secure the support of the Radcliffes in the plot to overthrow the king. The hall is raided by officers who have come to arrest the Roman Catholic priest hiding in the hall. Many people over the years believe the tale to be true, the evidence of which is the road at the side of the hall is called Guy Fawkes Street. Now, the hall, supposedly, is haunted, and there are three main ghosts. The first ghost being that of Lady Margaret. Margaret Radcliffe and her brother, Sir Alexander Radcliffe, were extremely close. When he went to court, he took Margaret with him. Margaret was chosen by Queen Elizabeth I as one of her maids of honour. It was not long before she became a favourite of the Queen. In 1599, Sir Alex was killed whilst fighting in Ireland. Margaret was very upset by Alexandra's death, and out of anxiety for her friend, Queen Elizabeth insisted that she brought her to Richmond Palace so that she could tend to her in person. Margaret died there on the 10th of November 1599. The legend goes that Margaret, still heartbroken over the death of her brother Alexandra, returns to the hall each night and waits for him to return. Our second spirit is a little girl called Cecily. Back in the 1950s, the hall's caretaker had a couple of daughters he brought to work, and they made good friends with one particular ghost. Cecily is said to roam the hall, and whenever children are in the building, you can smell her scent of roses and lavender. Now, our final spirit is a very cheeky chappie, Sir John Radcliffe. Now, his ghost got a bit of an eye for the ladies and has been known to pinch the odd bottom or two. The three ghosts, of course, will be able to be seen if you visit the ghost camp. Well, that's all for me for this week. I'll be back next week with a little more history. So it's ta-ta from Titters. Ta-ta!
Oh, I've I've gone all chilly after that. That was a bit spooky, wasn't it, eh? Well, we've had a great week here at Your Manchester. Don't forget to join us for our next episode. We've got loads to enjoy. We've got Rochdale Pride, we've got LGBT cricket, we've got the lovely Emily Fleischman, and she's talking fashion versus vegan. And also, if you are out and about this week, please support Sam Retford and his charity, which is Forever Angels Ball. It's happening on Saturday night. It's for a great cause, so hopefully we'll see you there too. But until then, don't forget to subscribe, press the button, and you will get more of this show, which is Your Manchester.